Brr. Good evening.
Good evening.
Mas maganda
Kamusta
na
po
yung
kayo?
audio.
Narinig niyo ba ako?
Ang audio mo ay pangit pa rin.
Pangit pa rin.
Pero okay lang, mas maganda kasi. No?
Palitan ko.
Yun, no? Mas maganda nga yan, no? Yung microphone kasi ang pangit. Hello. Draw simply. Sino mga nandito? Sino na nandito?
Now? Can you hear me?
Mahina, pero okay.
Ngayon, ganun.
Serena, yan, better. And Raquel,
Let's use this mic.
Lynn, True Lies. Sus, ang aga ni True Lies ngayon. Nelly, Setral,
Trulis. Liit.
Trulis. Riglo, Maki T. Good evening sa inyo lahat. And it's July 15.
July 15 in 10:33 p.m.
Yeah, and if you've read my post kanina, today
Umuulan ba dyan, brother?
Oh, yes. Sa ating mga taga Metro Manila, nagde-drive, ingat-ingat. Medyo katatapos lang ng ulan. Okay, July 15, 2022. This is exactly, mali ka na ako, 48 years, no? Since 1946, tama ba? 46?
48 years.
Ha?
46?
No.
1946?
Oh.
60.
76 years. Tama?
76.
76 years.
Abogado lang po ako. Mahina po ako sa math.
Kaya nga. Hindi, may kinalaman to sila. 76 years since the enactment of Republic Act number 1.
Republic Act number 1.
Yes, it was made on July 15. Ha?
RA number 1 o
yeah, Republic Act number 1.
di ba alam ko na to dati pa?
Hindi ko alam.
Operation of Government of the Commonwealth of the Philippines.
Yep.
Beginning July 1st.
Nagkaroon tayo ng independence officially July 4 from the Americans. And siyempre, mag-ano pa tayo. Pero elected na yung ating officials. Nagkaroon na ng turnover. Formality na lang yung July 4. And then, siyempre, yung ating mga congressman, senador, kailangan pang magtrabaho para ma-enact yung kauna-unahang batas. Yung batas kasi, di ba? Yung batas is the symbol of nation's statehood. It comes a state. So, when it is able to enact laws by virtue of their sovereignty, ano ba yun? Tama ba yan, no? Kasi kahit na may recognition kayo na kayo ay isa ng bansa at hindi naman kayo nakakagawa ng isang batas, parang wala kayong chance na magkaroon ng buhay sa mundo ng international community. Tama? Because every country knows, di ba? Every country knows that nation must rule by laws, no? By laws. So,
yung making laws is the expression of sovereignty.
The will of the sovereignty. Buhay ang soberanya. Tama? Si Liza, soberano na buhay na. Ulit, kita ko yung kanyang
Bakit will ba siya si Liza?
Hindi, soberanya yung pinag-uusapan natin. Soberano yun. Soberano yun. Si Liza
Hello,
soberano.
Cyrene.
Nakita ulit ako ng Okay, good evening. Reynaldo.
Raquel.
Ang topic
Lovely.
natin, ano nga ba yun? Paano mo nga ba yun, how did you state the proposition for tonight?
The proposition for tonight is the immaturity of the Philippine political philosophy.
That's why I was talking about our toddler days,
Our
babyhood. Our babyhood.
We started to be state.
Babyhood. Yes.
Apparently, just in July 1, 1946.
No, July 15. Kasi nakagawa tayo ng ano yung labor pains pa yun, pare. Humihilap pa lang
Sabi dito sa batas, formally, Taiwan daw tayo nagsimula. Beginning
I'm
July 1st.
that law wala pang publication yun, hindi pa yun in effect. Enactment lang yun.
Pero hindi ba pwede nga mag retroact ang July 1 na lang tayo naging July 1 na lang tayo naging free, but July 4 talaga, 'di ba? We set
Pero
it at
June 12
July
daw.
4.
Pero June 12 daw.
Independence. Alin ba yung Independence at saka Philippine-American Friendship Day?
We used to celebrate Independence Day on the 4th of July until the presidency of Justado Macapagal, when he made that, I don't know if it's a law or an executive order, that commanded the celebration of June 12 as our Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Recognizing the establishment of that government led by Aguinaldo as our point of reckoning.
Point of reckoning.
Yun, so, okay ba kayo dyan, mga friends? Bakit ba si Atty. Ahmed lang yung lagi nyo sinasabihan pogi? Nasiselos na ako eh.
Saan dyan?
Yan.
Hinahanap daw naniwala.
Bakit ba? Bakit ba talaga? Okay lang. Isulat nyo rin dyan, pangit ka, JP.
Sabihin mo nyo, ang ganda-ganda ni Sir JP.
Sabihin mo. Yan, fans ko yan, si Rocky Wambo.
Fans mo si Rocky. Hello, Rocky.
Diba? Rocky.
Si Pinay Paparazzi. Ito, Suki ito eh. Suki.
Yeah.
Si Alme Raquel. Ito yung nambobola, si Alme Raquel. JP nga yung pangalan niya, Kamag-anak mo yata to JP, pare.
Dangkal pa, Dangkal siya, Dangkal JP. ADJP. Kasi pag ako
Teka muna, Erin, hindi ba to si Erin? Hindi. What?
Pinay Paparazzi, handa ka na. July 4, Philippine-American Friendship Day. Yung dinowngrade yan ni Justado Macapagal. And there's a story behind that. Okay?
Tell me the story.
It has to do with the father ni Shell Jokno. Because of
Pepe Jokno.
Yes, because of President Macapagal's his betrayal of President Macapagal's trust and confidence.
Sino daw ang na-betray?
Secretary of Justice when he allowed FBI agents to operate in the Philippines without even informing the president.
Oh. Inalaw niya. Teka na muna, sinong inalaw niya?
FBI agents.
Mga kano?
Yes. On orders of John F. Kennedy.
Akala ko ba anti-American yan siya?
Sino? Si
Pepe Jokno.
Baka naging antay na lang siya pagkatapos nun kasi
later na.
Iniwanan siya sa ere. Inassure siya ng
Kwentuhan mo.
Inassure daw siya ng mga operatives ng
FBI.
Mga ang kanilang order ay nanggagaling kay Bobby Kennedy. Kay Bobby Kennedy, who was the Attorney General of the United States or whatever.
Yes, at that time, yes.
Yeah, at the time that his brother was the president.
Yep.
And right. They needed to operate here in order to arrest a certain person named Stonehill. And from this arrest came the Stonehill versus Jokno doctrine.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no?
Stonehill.
So, all right. So, okay. So, tayo ay crush daw niya si Ahmed. Really? That's interesting about the old Jokno. Yeah. This is where the case of Stonehill versus Jokno came about. And the reason why he was arrested was because of that so-called blue book.
Blue book.
Torn pages. Blue book of paid politicians.
So parang yung parang kay J. Edgar Hoover.
Yep. Which featured in this scandalous election. Whereby this Stonehill allegedly paid off a senator, the third wheel in the uh, among the among the candidates at the time, which involved Macapagal, Quirino was the sitting president, and there was a senator running on the Salingket. Uh, na
Talingket-ket.
ang pangalan niya ay si Senator De La Rosa, hindi si Bato.
Kamag-anak kaya niya yan?
Artista yung pogi.
Wait. Let's correct this. Baka mapahamak tayo dito.
Ano yun? Why? Ano yun? Ano yung pinapakorek mo?
Basahin mo. Hindi mo nababasa.
Saan yan? Good evening po sa inyo. Ay, hindi ako attorney.
Yeah.
Ako ay isang historian. Nag-istorya lang.
Historia. And economics.
Hindi. Historian.
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 Pero pwede rin yan siyang media critic.
Pwede rin.
Pwede.
Or pwede rin akong callboy. Rocky Wambo.
Pwede ka rin nga Pornhub actor.
Gigolo. Bruce Bigelow, the male gigolo. Basta si De La Rosa, senator, he was, I heard he was Rolando De La Rosa or something like that.
Rolando De La Rosa.
Now, the story was like this, na statistically, they were tied si Quirino and si Macapagal. And in between their votes, there were about 2 million votes na solid din kay De La Rosa. So allegedly, to si Stonehill, he paid off De La Rosa so that near the election day, he will go and endorse Macapagal. So of course, itong kanyang bit-bit na mga hakot na will now turn the tide of the elections. In exchange, allegedly, he just asked for a small favor lang naman. Very small favor.
Si Pepe yan, si Pepe joke, no?
No. Si Stonehill.
Si Stonehill.
Si Stonehill asked for a very small favor in exchange for paying off the center. And what is this very small favor? 4 na posisyon lang naman.
4 na posisyon.
4 secretaries to be named by his own choosing. Nangyayari din ba ngayon yan, internet?
Opo.
Opo.
Nangyayari yan ngayon.
Opo.
Last admin, yes, nangyari din yan. Meron ngang mga department dyan na yung head. Ano ba tawag sa head ng department?
Pangulo. Secretary.
Meron ng mga secretary na wala man lang silang na-appoint sa sarili nilang staff.
Wow.
Sa sarili nilang department na mga asset usage. Meron din ganun.
Okay. Alam nyo kasi, yung ating tradisyon ng buying the positions in government allegedly came from our inherited past from the Spaniards. Kasi dati daw, ang akusasyon, ayon sa kasaysayan na sinulat ng mga Amerikano, hindi daw naging interesado ang hari ng Espanya o yung Espanya mismo, yung pamunuan ng Espanya sa pagpapalago ng ekonomiya ng bansa dahil ang kita na kanilang tinatuwa sa loob ng 300 taon ay ang kita na nanggagaling sa mga Espanyol na nais magsilbi, mangamkam at mangurakot at maging berdugo at oppressor dito sa Pilipinas. So magbabayad daw sila ng kanilang bibilhin nilang kanilang posisyon mula sa hari. At dahil doon tuntuan na daw yung mga hari for the last 300 years. Allegedly. They had to pay. Ayos. What is that?
Basahin mo, ang haba eh.
Teves wants to discredit BBM this early. President Bongbong will undoubtedly see Teves as a troublemaker rather than a political ally. Sino Teves to? Si Teves doon sa Kongreso? We
Si
believe that the
Margarita
President
Perez,
Bongbong will be willing to rename the NAIA during his term. Si Senator siguro to.
yung senator.
The
Hindi,
original,
congressman.
si Congressman Tevez siguro to, yung taga Negros ba to?
Yung
The
matangkad, yung
original,
matangkad.
hindi, yung isa, si PDP Laban, na I object,
Oo nga,
because
oo
I am
nga,
the
oo nga.
Secretary General. You were never a Secretary General, you were just a...
Si Kusi. Inappoint lang siya ni Pacquiao, di ba?
Uh, the original Manila International Airport opened in 1961. Okay, so nag-file siya ng ano, okay, every congressman kasi has the right to file whatever bill he likes. So, let him be.
Oo, sa
Diba?
haba
Because
nito.
that is right. No. Yan yung sinagot ni Trixie, diba? That is not a
Anybody can file
legislation that...
any proposed bill.
That is not a legislation that came from Malacanang. I don't think Bongbong will even do that
I
for
don't think he
himself,
really
no?
cares. I don't think he really cares
Diba?
about
Why
that.
would, no, why would you really risk political backlash by doing that? Tama ka, no? Whoever
Right,
thought
right.
of this, maybe trying to, di ba? They know they won't please Bongbong by doing that, so they're probably trying to displease him. Okay,
Probably.
and that is, di ba? Because there's no logic for Bongbong to want that.
Yeah,
There's so
it's
many,
so small a thing.
There's so many places he can name after his father. Why really choose that name that is allegedly named after the person that is accused to be killed by his father? Na wala namang dahilan. So you want to rub more salt into this topic. Why would you do
Di
that?
ba?
Makes no sense. Di ba? Si Arnie Tevez, si ano yan, si Negros, no? Si ano nga to, I am the Secretary General.
Yan siya nga yan. Yung in-appoint ni Pacquiao.
Paglinawan, tsaka
For
ni,
some reason.
or no, ni Coco.
Si Coco,
Interim
si Coco.
something. Mga interim something. Alright. So, watching from Hong Kong. Okay, so ang ating topic na political immaturity ng mga Pinoy. Meron ba legal definition ng political maturity?
Legal definition, I don't know. I don't think so.
How about philosophical definition?
Wala rin. Because maturity is relative. It's dependent on so many factors. But primarily, it is dependent on time. Length of time, for example, from the beginning. And then there's, did you develop your own political philosophy, or did you just borrow it from Machiavelli in the Middle Ages? Diba? Or did you borrow it from a later political thinker like Karl Marx, which came later on? Diba? Or from Wittgenstein and a lot later than that. Diba? Pero Wittgenstein was not a politician, he was not a political philosopher, but
She's a social philosopher.
His thoughts permeates everything. Like it's the linguistic turn yung sa kanya. Diba? Which is the postmodern contemporary political philosophy.
Okay. So, when we say political maturity, is there any example that we can maybe use to illustrate sa atin for our analysis, sa ating mga listeners dyan, sa ating mga audience, to just picture the idea of what are we looking for when we say political maturity? Is there any
baka may gusto
possible,
mag-suggestion because there is no match
hard and fast rule,
yardstick.
Wala tong textbook definition kasi. So kayo, lalo na sa ating mga kababayan na nasa ibang bansa, no, yung mga OFW, you've seen the rest of the world, that most of us who just stay here most of the time, although nakakalabas naman tayo ng Pilipinas paminsan-minsan, pero we don't really stay there, di ba? Pero ang punto is, you see other governments in action, other countries, other nationalities, day in, day out, while you are living there. So, can you share with us, like, how would you define, or what do you see there as an indication of political maturity? Or can you also say that wherever you are, hindi rin sila mature? But if you
Ito,
think there's
sabi ni
political,
ni
yeah,
Vic, ibasa ko basahin ko.
oh, hindi,
Is that
Senator,
that's
ano
an
ko lang.
indication to him, that is an indication of immaturity. Yung nanalo pa si Robin at si Rafi. Siguro mas maganda kung i-describe natin kung ano ba ang dapat hindi ikapanalo ni Robin at saka ni Rafi para fair tayo sa kanila.
Mm,
Even
mm,
if we don't like them or we like them,
okay.
let's be fair to them. What about Robin and Rafi? Don't we think is mature?
Okay. Ako, I'd answer for Sir Vic. No? Sir Vic.
Answer for all
Okay.
of us
Okay.
para
No,
maintindihan
I
natin.
will answer for Sir Vic. No?
Mm.
Because this is really a big question, even for me. No? When we are uh, alam mo yun, mapili sa
Mm.
ating mga discussions about the qualifications we want for our president,
Mm.
and yet we vote for senators, people who's okay, not necessarily their background. I'm not attacking their background or their education or what. Whose platforms are not even clear. Like Robin, what did he
Yes.
stand for? Diba? And even if he said all of those things, what is his track record about uh, those things that he claimed to be advocating for? You know, he's an
Mm.
actor. He's capable of making himself appear serious. He can even
Mm.
cry in front of you, diba? So how is he able to convince how many millions? Si Robin ang nakuha niyang boto, mga 20 million. Of those Filipinos na muntik na mga kasira-sira yung mga pamilya sa kakabutingting ng mga criteria natin for president,
Mm.
and yet vote for this guy without really, alam mo yun, wala siyang cogent na wala siyang logical na explanation other than him being popular. And yes, the logic here would go into to the very essence of democracy. It's a question of popularity. Tama?
Yes. Para sa akin
Yeah.
kasi, okay, let me say something about
Mm,
that.
mm,
Um, it may not have a really direct influence on the maturity of our political philosophy or even just politics, because
mhm,
to me it's the same. Na boboto ka ng isang artista because remember that an election with a popular election like ours,
mm.
you cannot do away with populism, di ba? Yung pasikatan. And
Yeah,
maybe
agree.
Robin and Rafi, even if they don't have a track record in political activities wherein they actually help the community or the country or the sector of people, um, they feel like they want to embark into those kinds of activities, and they are using their popularity before they come into politics. They are using that to win the election, just to win the election.
Mhm,
Okay, and that's not prohibited. Ang sinasabi ko lang is that they have that added advantage of being already popular before they entered into the world of politics. But
yep.
I think that is not too late for us to still check them, di ba? Check and balance them, because you might think that you are popular and therefore people voted for you. But if you do not do your job, uh, don't think that you will be exempt from a criticism, from watchful eyes of the ombudsman or whoever, di ba?
Mhm,
The citizens, na makikriticize ka pa rin. So don't think that because sikat ka, hindi ka tatamaan. Tingnan mo si Manny Pacquiao.
oh,
Idol ko yung taong yun sa boxing. I mean, there is
oh,
simply no other boxer in the Philippines that achieved the same thing as he
mm,
had achieved. But
mm.
when it came to running for president, that no, man, I will not. I do not want you to be president of this country. Di ba?
Okay. Like ito si De Peralta, sabi niya, I'd like to see a Senate with the majority of lawyers Alam mo, uh, I'd rather,
Delikado yan.
I'd rather wish for at least one doctor than having three actors there.
Well, yeah, that's good. That's good. I
Huh?
like that.
I'd rather have at least one doctor than three actors there. One maybe a professional engineer or agriculturist or something like that. Then
Hi,
is
Maria Aligaya.
yeah, Maria, maganda to, maganda. Okay.
Friend ko na siya ngayon. Tinanggap niya na yung request ko.
Mm. Di ba? But ang question, okay, si Robin, he has to, he remains to be, he remains to be tested. Di ba? Let's give
Yeah,
him the
he remains to
chance.
be tested. That's right.
Si Tulfo, the same. But what cannot be explained, Tatay Vic, is why do we keep on electing Lito
Artista.
Lapid? No, Lito
That's it.
Lapid and Lito Lapid who never does anything there. And also,
Si
Bong Revilla.
Ramon Bong Revilla. Di ba? I don't
Where was
understand why
Bong
they're
Revilla in the
there.
middle of the pandemic? Where was he? He was just shooting at the TV series for Channel 7.
Yep.
And
That's
that is a
crazy.
senator.
That's crazy for me. I don't understand why that's going on.
Hmm. And do you know how much the Filipino people spend for every senator? On the average, on the average, on the basic cost of their operations as a senator, 100 million a month.
Just holding an office there, we are spending 100 million a month for them.
For every senator.
Oh. Isipin mo yan. Ilan yan sila? 24?
And then this guy just goes on shooting teleserye for Channel 7.
Di ba? Yun nga yun ang hindi ko maintindihan. Are we mature?
Are we politically mature?
Are we?
Stars. May stars dun. Wow. All right.
Starships.
So, starships. Okay. Ano ba problema natin sa Pilipinas, no? How do we define this thing called maturity? Okay. Pwede ako mag-share, Tony.
Oh, please.
Paano kaya ako? Hindi ba meron... Okay, hindi. Ganito muna. Kasi sinulat ko lang siya sa sinulat ko lang siya sa notepad. Okay lang ba ma-share yung notepad?
Yeah. Just send it. Wait.
I send ko sa'yo.
Save it as a PDF file.
No. It's in PDF. Para malaki-laki mo, mapalaki mo tayo.
Ano mo siya, picturean mo siya, screen cap.
Try natin.
And save as PDF.
Wait lang ha.
Ganun
Try
gawin
natin to. Try ko muna mag-share screen kung lalabas, okay?
Sige.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Hi, Christine.
Window.
Christine, good evening from Brunei. Marian Shoko. Marian Shoko, hey. Sally Payo.
Ano bang may mga na-share na ba yung ating mga friends na OFWs on possible criteria na pwede natin gamitin for
Oo nga, baka meron kayong masuggest
baka
dyan.
mga idea.
Tingnan natin. Type it away.
You know, sabi niya, voting Lito Lapid and Bong Revilla is really a good example of immaturity. Akala ko maturity. Okay? Oh, well, Pacman was one of those, no?
And that's another one.
Imagine niyo, ito si Ahmed. When we were in college, may mga brad yan siya na brad ko rin na staff ng mga senador, staff nila in relay. All of our brads were working in the Senate in at that time that we were the ones in college. They would tell stories about itong kunwari, yung tatay ni Bong Revilla, si Ramon Revilla Sr. Pagpasapasal na yan sa Senado. Lakad-lakad.
Balikan natin tong sinabi ni Vic. Balikan natin to. I'll just put a star on this and we'll get back to that later. Yeah, continue with what you're saying. I will just put a star.
Lakad-lakad sa Senado. Tapos habang nagdidebate yung mga senador, pupunta sa staff. Yung barong ko ba para mamaya sa derby, handa na. Okay. Yeah. Lakad-lakad na naman siya. Yung dadalhin natin dun sa... Alam mo yun, that is how they describe Bong's father in the Senate. But that guy served for about 3 terms. Lito Lapid when he started He was antagonized by no less than Joker Arroyo on the first
Mm,
day that he came into the Senate.
mm,
He wore a black barong, and
mhm.
Joker Arroyo referred to him as Batman on the Senate floor. Di ba alam mo yun? Ah, it's a joke eh. It's a joke. May sinishare ko kung try mo daw kung
Yeah, I'm
maglalabas yan.
seeing it. Hold on. Oh.
Can it come out? Ayun. It
There.
can. It can. It
There you
can.
go.
Right. Okay, wait. Palakyan ko
I-center
lang
mo
yung
lang.
font.
I-widen
Hindi,
it.
palakyan ko lang yung font. Okay. Palakyan ko lang yung
Pati
font.
yung window pala. Whole
Palakyan ko
window na
lang.
ba yan?
Hindi, kasi
Maximized window yan.
ginawan ko siyang ano eh. For
Ay, i-widen mo lang.
view. Sige lang. Habang
Oh,
nag-usap
yeah.
tayo, ayusin ko lang
Yeah.
muna. Ha? Okay, so let's
Yeah.
go ahead. Political maturity natin and our immaturity, di ba? Uh, how do we assess it? Okay? So, yeah, dito muna tayo. Ha? Do we look at, sige, external na mga observable na mga aspects ng bagay na to. Ha? Palakihin natin ito. Saan ba yung font size ito? More. Ayun. Ha? Nakita ko rin. Okay. Let's try the interest in elections that Filipino devote.
Sige.
Ha? Di ba?
Sige.
Ano pa yung mga may dadagdag natin sa description na to? We are very passionate about elections. We like it. Love it. This is fiesta time.
Mm,
No?
mm.
Is this an indication of political maturity? I think yes. Kasi the worst kind of citizen would be those who do not care about
About the elections.
the expression of their political right to vote. Tama?
Yes.
The worst yan. Kung ang ating voter turnout will be what, 30%? Like this time, we can say this elections was a very, very healthy one politically. Ilang bang
It may
percent
not
yung...
be mature, but it's a good sign. Diba?
Yes. Kasi sinasabi natin, di ba? Hindi na tayo toddler, hindi na tayo 1-year-old with the way we interact as a nation during the election time. Okay?
Yeah.
We're very passionate. We're very
Pero,
combative.
teka, are we talking about the election that just passed? Or the last two elections? The last three elections?
Maybe it's a progressing development. Kasi kung titingnan mo yung turnout lang as a criteria, turnout,
Yes.
the
Election.
number of voters who actually voted.
Mm.
Pataas ng pataas in the last several elections, no?
Di mas maganda.
Consequently, kumbaga, as the elections progress over time, dumadami yung percentage ng Pilipinong bumoboto, which is good. And that is also expressed in our participation in the campaigns, from kids to adults to young new voters, all involved.
Okay.
Combative.
So, hold on. Let me ask this question. I think that we have to dichotomize the maturity of the electorate, or the electors, the people, and the maturity also of those who run, because they are also the electorate, but they are the candidates. Kasi, kung mga candidates na tumatakbo, if they are mature and they know that they really can't do anything because their knowledge are limited, they are not really that sociable or very interested in working in the community and listening to them, then running, even if you know you can't do that and other people can see that you really can't do that and you still run, I think that is a sign of immaturity in the candidate side. Sa mga electors, the voter side naman, we know that this guy really is just completely useless. He has been there, hanggang ngayon, binoboto nyo pa rin. Now, there's probably a hint at the maturity of the voters. So maybe mas safe kung ihiwalay natin yung silang dalawa. But still, judge them with a maturity yardstick. Di ba?
Yes, but that is the gawin natin siyang yung parang may negative tayo na list, tama?
Mm-hmm.
No, yung parang
Tama.
wait lang ha.
Meron ka bang ano diyan, yung parang
Lagyan natin ng kulay.
parang notes, yung notes
Ito,
na
notes na to eh. Lagyan
notes
natin
na
ng
to. Oh,
kulay.
yan. Okay. O sige,
Lagyan
yan.
natin ng kulay. How do I change the color of this thing?
Mm. Yung color is
Pasensya na
there.
mga
Oh,
friend.
ito,
Yeah,
itong A, itong
yan
A
o, yan
yan.
o, yan o, yan o. Oh, ha? So, ang
Yan.
negative natin dyan, no, is yung ating poor choice. Tama?
For choice.
Poor
Who
choicing.
are we talking about? The voters?
Yung sinabi mo kanina, na we
Okay,
vote
sige,
even
sige.
those nincompoops and in ano, the poor choice
Yes, yes.
uh, by voters. Poor choices. Yan kasing poor choice. Sa tingin ko, this is solvable eh. No? It is a question of candidates being able to fool voters because of lack of transparency in the entire election, in the entire campaign period. And sometimes, mas kampante yung mga kandidato, lalo na dyan sa probinsya, na tumakbo kahit na walang kakayanan. Just simply because kontrolado din nila yung kalaban. Alam nila wala silang kalaban eh.
Mm.
Di ba? Yung nominal lang yung kalaban nila or baka sila pa yung nagpatakbo dun sa kalaban. Alam mo yun na wala talagang chance. So even if they do not even exert any effort, there was no contest at all.
Mm.
No? Poor choices. Maraming factors to. Either it's because generally people would not want to choose poorly. Especially yung mga positions na critical sa kanila. Alam mo yung ba anong pinaka-critical sa mga botante? Hindi naman yung presidente, hindi yan mga senador. It's their mayor.
Mayor, governor.
Yes, because these are the ones who will deliver for them their roads, these are the
Yes.
ones who will take care of their basura. Tama ba ako?
Mm.
No?
Tama.
Paniligaya?
I agree with you. I agree
Di
with you.
ba? Ito naman yung mamimikap ng basura. Ito naman yung magpapawalis ng mga daan. Di ba? Papaayos ng ating buhay sa barangay. So,
May
poor
sinasabi siya,
choices. Mm.
Neko totus, gentlemen, is it not form of discrimination? What's wrong with their stop? Well, there's nothing wrong with them.
Kaya nga,
Ako,
sabi nga
wala akong
natin,
problema sa kanya.
ang sabi nga natin, di ba, si Robin
Yeah.
Padilla remains to prove himself.
Oh, yeah. And
And
we are fine with that.
we have to be objective enough to allow him to do that.
Judging him, yeah.
And not
Yeah, that's right.
only ganito why is he not really fully disqualified for this alam niyo ba na yung lolo nila Robin Padilla is the Senator Padilla na napakagaling?
Yeah.
He comes from a very good political family, so it's not impossible that he really has it in his genes or he has it in his blood to know these things na hindi natin alam kung ano relasyon yan sa lolo niya. Di ba? So we're not discriminating against artistas. What we are discriminating against, or not what we are, but we are not even discriminating. What we cannot justify to our logical minds is the consistency of some senators and some artistas winning over and over again, despite the fact that they are not doing anything in the Senate.
And then to those who just came here recently or just tonight, meron po tayong discussion tungkol sa prejudice. And that is the one thing that we will never catch ourselves doing dito sa Luminous. Because we value that so much. That is the first ever thing that we talked about when when Luminous came back.
Okay, sa
Diba?
mga bagong salta pala, no, mga bagong dating. These discussions that we hold, wala tong political agenda. Wala rin tong social agenda. Wala rin tong philosophical agenda.
Meron.
No, what I'm saying is wala tong pinopromote na kahit sinong political ideology or whatever party or whatever group. We take things here, we discuss things here objectively and without even any script.
Well, that is not to say that we won't admire or appreciate what a person has done.
We
or
love it when
a
you
party
ask
has
us
done.
like this.
Yes, we will say that, but we will not have a predetermined, conceived good things about anyone or anything or any topic. Para sa amin, we will discuss it, and then later on, if we see some good things, then we will appreciate it. We will admire it and di ba, congratulate the person. But
Mm.
here, when we discuss, we actually just want to clarify in our own heads something that we are not so justified to ourselves about. Kaya,
Mm.
JP, isipin mo nga to, tulungan mo nga akong isipin to. Tingnan mo nga kung tama to. Parang ganun lang naman ang ginagawa ko sa dito. Okay? And
Yes.
yes,
And maybe we can add to this about our election election culture. We
mm.
are beginning to dislike vote buying.
Yes,
Tama ba?
that's
Ha? Ha?
beginning to come
I,
out. Yeah, tama.
I really noticed this recently. So this is now a
Yeah.
gray area. Vote buying is questionable now. No? Hindi na siya, no?
Yes.
Hindi na
Parang
siya purely.
namulat na yung tao.
Vote buying
Namulat na
is
sila.
questionable. Kaya,
That
ay,
they are
si
beginning
Pacquiao.
to think that there's something wrong with this. Di
Yeah.
ba?
Uh,
Yeah.
okay, I will just share again. I shared this before sa ibang mga ano. I read somewhere that in a book while I was doing some paper in sophomore history
Year.
in UP na itong vote buying was invented during the time of Ferdinand Marcos to solve a bigger problem. And
Of
the inventor of this vote buying was very well rewarded. The governor of my of my hometown.
yes.
Uh, he was the governor of my hometown, and it is said in that book that in allegedly in return for that recognition, he was able to secure for himself loans that enabled him to establish a
Own
shipping
almost
company.
everything in your place.
A shipping company. No. A shipping company. He did not. He did not. He was a good governor in our place to begin with.
Okay, alright.
In fact, he was a very good man. Isipin mo mga bata kami no, nakikita niya, naglalaro kami ng wala naman siyang kilala sa amin. Kilala namin siya. Naglalaro kami ng soccer. Soccer. Bababa yun, makikipag-soccer sa amin. Matanda na yun he was a very good person. But he invented vote
Yes.
buying. Well, allegedly, this vote buying was invented not to cheat elections, but to solve a
another
bigger
evil.
problem, which was the predominance of the use of guns and terrorism against the voters by political warlords. Dati kasi, hindi
Warlordism.
na nanalo ang kahit sinong senador, kahit sinong presidente dito sa Pilipinas kung hindi ka magmamano sa mga warlords sa bawat probinsya. And Marcos wanted to do away with that system. And comes this very, very intelligent governor, then let's just buy the votes. Or, alam mo yun, so that people will not be intimidated. Let's give them money. And he even came up with the rudiments of the organized distribution of this money in line, alam mo yun. Anyway, his name was, wag na lang, kasi
Wag na lang.
wag na lang.
Well, it's
So,
not it's not a
It's not
fact
important.
that is filed by court.
It's not a well-established fact. It just came
Yeah.
from a book of chismis. History lang.
Marites po.
It's a history book. Okay, so vote buying is now questionable. Ganda to okay, so elections, as we have talked, di ba? Kasi si Tatay Vic, sinimulan niya with the result of the election as part of the discussion of political maturity. Is there anything we can add here that we are so passionate, we are combative, we have high voter turnout. This should be in the black, tama? No? High voter turnout.
Ngayon,
And youth participation, yun yung importante.
meron din akong masasabi na, well, although higher ang voter turnout natin and youth participation, even minors participation, ang isa pang
kids.
napansin ko ay yung yung younger voters, especially those who really did not know anything about martial law and
Mm,
who did not have anything, he did not know anything about the regime
mm,
of Ferdinand Marcos Sr.
mm.
They are the ones who are so angry and averse to to the return of the Marcos surname.
Okay.
Whereas those older people who were there,
Ah,
as a matter of fact, during the martial law era and who see the president, they don't seem to be so noisy about it. I mean, I know that there seems to be a 50-50 split between loyalists and those who are against Marcos in the old people, but they are not so noisy about it. The kids, however, seem to have a consensus about Marcos. That they seem to be against Marcos all in one place. Why is that? Ay, napansin ko lang ha. I don't know. Maybe I missed some other
I think it's very easy to explain. I think it's very easy to explain
how
using our explanation also about the
media
choice. No,
media.
no, about the choice that results to the election of alam mo yun, incompetent public servants. The
Mm,
absence of clear sources of information to make these decisions well, no? Which is
all right, right.
I think this is an information issue, no? Para tong
Mm.
consumer, parang hindi mo alam kung ano yung
Anong bibilin mo? Anong
anong
maganda
brand ang bibilhin mo
products?
because all of them are new, di ba? Or you're coming para kang balikbayan, babalik ka sa Pilipinas after 20 years, you really do not know where to eat, right? You know
Yeah.
Filipino food is good, but where to eat? Oh, yung taga Stockton dyan, isipin mo, babalik ka dito sa Pilipinas.
Mm.
Hindi mo naman alam kung saan ka kakain dito, alam mo lang masarap ang pagkain dito. Tama? So, that information disconnect, no, is probably the reason why these choices are being kumbaga, distorted. Which is to me the human factor and which makes this elections in theory uh, alam mo yun, unpredictable
Mm-hmm.
because that is always that element of information, disinformation,
Disconnect.
propaganda, machinations by this camp or that camp. Tama?
Mm.
That is the game.
Mm.
And yung example mo about Marcos, that disinformation has been there for the longest time, waiting
So
for this
so
opportunity to hit this poor guy
that's right.
who happens to be the son
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Ferdinand Marcos. Di ba?
Oh,
It
but
has been there.
that is the only connection
Correct.
that he ever had because all the other connections that they tried to establish failed.
Uh, uh,
Diba? That they tried to establish that he benefited from the actions of his father. Which
correct.
ones exactly? Which
Correct.
actions exactly?
Correct. And you know
Diba?
what the problem of using this information is? In any case, in any case, mapa
Against
mapakaso
whoever.
against anyone, against your
Oh.
friend. Alam mo yun, when you begin with a lie, once that lie
Mm.
kasi is exposed to be false, mas lalo mo pang tuloy na pinalakas yung sinisira mo. In
Mm.
every case, kahit na sa criminal case torne, di ba? Sige,
Yeah,
subukan mo
exactly.
maglagay dyan ng
Magsinungaling ka ng
mga
fake
peking
na witness.
witness. Wala na, makakapit na yung ano mo, kahit natutupang siya yung pumatay nun. Nang dahil lang sa naglagay ka doon ng dalawang peking witness. Di ba? This has a very, very high whiplash effect. Yung disinformation, lakas niyan.
Yep.
Kaya, yun yung ano nila.
Kaya
Because,
be
mm,
careful with that.
ang problem nun, kasi that disinformation that was run against the Marcoses, hindi naman politically, politically prepared when it was delivered. It was delivered through the educational system,
Yeah,
di ba?
slowly.
Slowly and slowly. And then, ngayon, ngayon magkakaroon ng opportunity to provide the information, and once you are able to do that, you will
Wala
break
na,
down
baliktad na.
that lie. Oh yes, so that is
Kaya as a
why
matter of
you
fact,
have a
I
campaign.
think tama. I think as a matter of
Mm.
fact, I do believe that a good part of the votes for Mr. Bongbong Marcos came from the realization of certain number of people
Mm.
that we were
Mm.
lied to in 1986. That
Mm.
that that although in 1986 we wanted the same things as those really victims of martial law wanted, we were given something else and we were made to believe that we got what we wanted.
Mm.
Yan eh. So pagdating nitong eleksyon nitong kay Digong at saka dito kay BBM, na-realize, teka, niloko tayo nito eh. So
Oh.
I am one of those people na, and my classmate, si Harold, nakita kami dito, he's still in Tagum now. He came here last December, I think. And we got to talking, so, di ba nagra-rally-rally tayo noon? Mas kids, oo, di ba?
Oh.
Kalaban natin yung mga mayayaman natin mga kaklase
Mm.
dahil pumato mo sila.
Mm.
So, what can you say about it now? And sabi ko, I think that we got lied to. Sabi niya, oo, ako rin. That's how I feel. I feel like we were lied to by everyone. Like our teachers, di
Okay.
ba? The radio, the
Uh,
TV, everyone.
yes, but I wouldn't agree also that the martial law period was a perfect heaven,
No.
di ba?
Of
No, no,
course
no,
not.
that
Of
is not
course
the
not.
case, no? In
I
fact,
saw the evils of martial law.
okay,
Yung mga
in
namamatay,
fact,
alam mo yun.
okay, that thing about patayan for me is the least uh, of the real issues on that period. Kasi yung mga
Kasi
patayan
wala
na
na sa
yan,
part namin.
ah, yung mga
Tama.
patayan na yan, in terms of numbers,
Hmm.
ilan lang ba?
Di ba?
For the last, for that
That's
duration
right.
of
That's
20
right.
years, ilan lang ba
Hmm.
yun?
Yan
In
nga eh.
fact,
Ano yun eh.
in
Parang,
fact,
parang extrajudicial killing number din
hmm,
yan eh.
yeah. In fact, you compare that with the extrajudicial killing and political deaths during the 9 years of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. There were more deaths in GMA's time.
That's right. Journalists. Oh, totoo
Sa
yan.
20 years ni Marcos versus that 9 years ni GMA. Okay, because most of these deaths are not even ordered by the president. Di
They
ba?
had nothing to do with the president. Most of them had nothing to do with
Ilan,
the president.
well, but I would really believe na wag na natin, let's not go to speculation. Okay?
Hmm.
Because nothing has been proven to be directly involving any president, any death, di ba? So let's not go there. But the point here is that our voters are very, very well in, emotionally and psychologically, kasama ata sa
Invested.
pagtulog, invested
Oh,
in our elections.
in our
And
candidates. Oh,
for me, that is a sign of political growth. Growth.
okay. Okay.
Political
Okay.
growth. From the, di
Uh-huh.
ba, we began with our history. Republic Act number 1,
What?
July 15, 1946. That was our baby years, di ba? We talked about the elections that happened, about 3 presidents after, during Macapagal, binibili yung kalaban. Okay? So, okay, sino mga nandito? Napansin niyo ba kung sino yung, do you see the evil of, uh, even
Vote
suggesting or
buying.
buying out? No. Candidate manipulation.
Mm.
Do you see the
Kasi yan yung
evil of
ano,
candidate manipulation? Asking someone to step down from the race? Step out of the race?
but didn't
There is
that
a
happen
more,
also?
well,
Uh,
Noynoy did it.
well,
Noynoy publicly
in this
asked,
election,
okay, Noynoy publicly disclosed that he asked Grace Po to align with Mar Rojas. And every morally upright person at the time said, ay, sayang, hindi pumayag. Where the hell is
what?
their morality? If you go back into the Stonehill issue,
Mm.
you will see that depriving the people that right to choose by removing one candidate
The
there
choices.
artificially distorts the decision making of the public.
Which is what would have happened doon sa ano, yun sa isang bayan ba yun? Isang dangkal ba yan? Yung
Mm.
kina Pacquiao, kina Luxian, in Lacson,
Mm.
mabuti na lang hindi rin natuloy yun. But it was a reaction to Lenny Robredo's asking them to
Mm.
di ba, to
In
not
fact,
run.
they even took it against Lacson, Pacquiao, and
Yeah.
Isko, na parang natakot lang kayo sa isang babae. What?
Oh, di ba? Parang so everyone
Doesn't
parang si
anybody hear
mm,
their question on the morality of the suggestion itself?
di ba? Tama. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was saying then. Yung parang tipong nagsasama-sama kayo diyan, hindi kayo sinipot nung isa. But do you realize that you are actually giving power to the other candidate na nagsusolo doon uh, by actually seriously considering what he is asking you to do. Di
Yeah.
ba kung halimbawa nabigyan ng pera dito si Lacson, what would have happened? Di ba din nagtagumpay yung Stonehill manipulation kind of thing.
Yeah, and you know how the Americans reacted to it when the president knew that one of their citizens was buying out a candidate for president in this country.
Oh.
Si John F. Kennedy yun. Pinahuli
Mm-mm.
niya si Stonehill.
Mm.
And habang nagpe-prepare pa lang sila for transition, itong incoming pa lang, hindi pa nakaupong Secretary of Justice na si
Pepe joke no.
Kapepe, was already being contacted by the FBI and the American shadow forces,
Mm.
informing him of the decision from the top, uh, that they will intervene and take out Stonehill, and knowing that the result of that was to get this new president elected. um, Kinausap nila na wag mo nang sabihin, kami ng bahala. And it did happen. Nagkaroon yung mga raid. And yung mga raid na yan, actually, na-mention ba mga FBI dyan sa Stonehill versus Jokno? Ahmed? Hindi, no?
Passing. Parang yun
Na-mention
nga,
ba?
huwag nyo na lang
Hindi
sabihin,
eh.
kami na lang bahala.
Hindi,
That is
pero
the arrogance of the Americans.
no, in the case, di ba? Kasi I remember this case being discussed. I do not remember the FBI figuring in the Supreme Court decision. Hush-hush ata yun eh.
Oo nga, kasi
Because this was a case of warrantless seizure and arrests, di ba?
arrest
Mm.
seizures.
Warrantless seizures, warrantless arrests, or parang overbroad orders of search, parang ganon, di ba? No, iba-ibang bahay to get anything of
Kaya nga, parang
any
fishing expedition.
yung fishing expedition to na case eh. But I don't remember in discussions of that case that there were FBI agents involved. But there were, according to reports. And that is the issue that led Makapagal in very, very bad start in his relationships with the United States, which ended up with ultimately with the declaration that our independence happened in June 12, 1898, and not in July 4, 1946. Nice ba? Okay, so laro-larong political party. Hihi! Sali ko dyan. Sali naman ako dyan. Di ba? Now, this one talaga, undeniably, this is a very weak
Yeah.
uh,
That is the most obvious symptom
of
of
the weakness
immaturity.
of our political immaturity.
Hmm.
Political parties that do not have any political ideology, that do not stand for
Kasi
anything.
ilan bang partido, if you can remember, ilan bang partido after the American emancipation of us?
Dalawa.
Ilang partido pa ang
Dalawa.
nangyari
There
doon?
was the liberal and And hindi tayo conservative, Democratic Party ata, parang ano.
Mm.
Or nationalista. Nationalista and then the Liberal Party.
Nationalista.
The Liberal
Mm.
Party.
Mm. So ang
Okay,
nationalista
related
sila
ba
yung
sa
parang
culture
conservative.
natin ang being politically immature? This is what we discussed kanina, attorney, no? Binibiro ko nga si Ahmed dito kanina eh. Kasi this system of democracy that we have, and si Ahmed has been always critical about this being, alam mo yun, imported into our culture. Hindi to parte ng ating kultura. And I tend to believe
Yeah.
in him now. You know why? Imagine the 300 years that we had in Spain. That was a monarchy.
Yep.
So
Monarchy.
our cultural identity or our cultural shared experience, at least our great grandfathers, uh, they had no notion of how this game works.
Yep.
So that's
They
why
don't.
we were and then severed with America July 4th. Film Friendship Day is no longer a big deal for Filipinos. No, no. Okay.
No,
Ganito
had
yan.
nothing to do.
The decision kasi to give us the independence came long before 1946.
Mm.
It came after the Congress, alam mo yun, ito ba yung Jones Law or Tidings-McDuffie Act?
Tidings. Tidings.
The
Tidings.
Tidings-McDuffie Act,
Mm.
which allowed for the creation of the Philippine Commonwealth as a preparatory government. And
Mm.
nagkaroon tayo ng 1935 Constitution as a result of that. And they were just waiting for this is critical. They were just waiting for a particular time to actually put that new government in, to let it go on its own.
So in
Uh,
1926,
1927, hinihingi na natin yan.
1927,
1926,
yeah.
1926, 1927, si Quezon pumunta na dun sa US Congress at nag-speech na
Yeah.
doon. Okay? Humingi and palakpakan yung mga, bigyan na natin yung independence nila. Pero hindi pa rin. Okay. So that July 4 in 1946 happened because the Americans obviously had so many things to do for the rest of the world after World War II. And they do not
Mm.
want to get their hands dirty anymore. Uh, Picking up the destruction that they did in the Battle of Manila, in the ano yung term nila, in the liberation of Manila, where so many the most number of civilians died. Sabi because of the Japanese, but of course you don't no
Because of the
longer
both of
know.
them.
You no longer know who shot those Filipinos or who bombed them out of their houses. Okay, and
Mm.
you can see the destruction of Manila after World War II by looking at pictures. We were the most destroyed city in the world.
Even worse than even worse than Berlin.
Maybe okay, with the exception of the cities that were bombed with the nuclear bomb. No, that's a
Mm.
different criteria. So when they left, ang tanong kasi natin namin, ano yung partido na natira?
Mm.
The first one was the
Liberal.
Liberal Party and then the Nationalista Party. Dalawa yung natira. And then nagkaroon ng iba-ibang party hanggang sa naging Christmas party na ang lahat. Yun.
Mm.
So
Kailan
ngayon, we have
nagsimula yung ano?
yung pagdami,
Kailan nagsimula yung nagiging butterflies na tayo ang lahat sa politika natin?
yung lipat-lipat?
No, kay Cory nagsimula, di ba? Balimbing started
No.
there.
No.
Oh.
No. The first one was Marcos. Ferdinand Marcos.
Hmm. What happened?
Ferdinand Marcos and Diosdado Macapagal were actually from the same party. They were both
Okay.
Liberal Party,
Hmm.
I think. Liberal ba? Or Nationalista. They were both from the same party. Marcos was
Hold
his
on.
Senate President. Okay, Ferdinand Marcos was the Senate President. Now, when that Stonehill notebook came out, nilaglag ni Macapagal si Ferdinand Marcos.
Mhm.
Because obviously all of them were receiving money from Stonehill. And they were all in the notebook. But there were pages missing. Yan lang yung sinasabi. And there is no confirmation kung sino talaga yung mga nandoon sa notebook. But the media then at the time, they were kumbaga, all speculating with no need to make any hula kasi all of them were in the take from Stonehill. Stonehill. Sino ba yan si Stonehill? Okay? Si Stonehill ang dating Chavit Singh's son.
Hindi.
Hindi, he
Yung yung election, yung Hello Garci,
no,
si
wait,
Garci.
wait. No. Si Stonehill used to control all the tobacco trade in the Philippines. Yang buong
yeah, that's right.
Luzon, North Luzon ng mga tabako, kanya yan. Okay? Lahat ng trade about tires, mga basta halos every consumer good or every raw material exported or imported to the Philippines, siya yung pinaka dyan.
Siya yung pinaka Jack Ma dito sa Pilipinas. Sa kanya lahat ng
at that time. And he was he was an American GI na nag-decide na magsimulang magbenta ng mga scrap, mga ganon, until he got control of the politics and the business in this country. That was Stonehill. So you read him, si Harry Stonehill. Then Stonehill warehouse, malapit sa NLEX. He almost owned almost all the properties na mahalaga. So kung may Lopez ka after him, that there was a Stonehill before them. Okay, now. So that Stonehill thing destroyed the relationship between Marcos and Macapagal. Okay? So much so that in the next election, si Marcos jumped as the standard bearer of, I'm not sure now whether, they were both from Liberal and now he went to Nacionalista to be the standard bearer there. And his vice president was Lopez. Mm-hmm.
Lopez.
Yeah. So they needed someone to go against Macapagal, who was also very popular. And si Marcos, when he jumped ship, he won also with the backing of Lopez. Okay? So in terms of political butterflies, I think maybe long before him, at least ito on the presidential level, parang ito yung first na incident na maybe ito si Ferdinand Marcos, nakita niya wala naman talaga tong ideolohiyang pinaglalaban because he was a very intelligent philosopher.
If you think about it, he came from the Liberal Party and he was pissed off with Macapagal. One of the reasons there was that Macapagal deported Stonehill.
No, he was forced to deport. Pero ito, nung lumabas kasi yung notebook, naghugas kamay si Macapagal. Tinuro niya na si Marcos
nila
tumatanggap. Pati siya tumatanggap.
Oo. Hindi naman totoo. Sila naman lahat.
Pero ang depensa daw ni Marcos noon sa media is mas malaki yung natatanggap niya kasi siya yung presidente.
Siya yung presidente.
Ito na yung information and disinformation between sa dalawang tao. Yung isa nagsasabi na mas malaki yun, So hindi siya nagdi-deny. At yung isa nagdi-deny yan. Hindi naman niya inaamin, nagdi-deflect lang siya, Pero at least hindi niya dinideny. Sinuturo niya yung mas malaki yung tinanggap. Itong mas malaking tinanggap, na obviously naniniwala yung mga tao na mas malaki yung tinanggap, nagdi-deny. Di lang mukha siya ngayon sinungaling, hindi siya nanalo sa eleksyon. That is how politics works, in an election.
Si Jokno, si Pepe Jokno at saka si Ferdinand Marcos lumipat sa Nacionalista. He ran against Macapagal.
Yeah, but nobody took Jokno seriously after that because, di ba, isipin mo, hindi ka pa nga nakapanumpa.
Nagparade ka na.
Ahmed. Hindi, after nila nanumpa, saka siya nagparade. Pero, Nagplano-plano ka na with a foreign country, ikaw ang Secretary of Justice, without
Mm.
telling the President who has appointed you about it?
Oo.
Di ba
So
ikaw
ano
ay
yan?
isang taksil? Hindi,
Espionage
hindi.
yan.
Hindi.
Espionage.
Ikaw ay isang taksil. Di ba?
Mm.
So, kahit sino ka pang Punsyo Pilatong politiko, yung pwede mo siya maging kaibigan, pero, di ba?
Ingat
You
ka.
never trust that guy.
Mm.
Sipin mo, in-appoint siya ni President Macapagal, and without him knowing, yung balitaan na lang niya, yung FBI, tumitira na sa Manila, nagre-raid, ala Entebbe.
Mm.
Alam mo Entebbe? Oh.
Mm.
Okay, pero punta tayo dito sa isang sign naman of maturity ng mga Pilipino. Do we express our love of country? How do we do? Are we very expressive? Is this true?
Well, I can definitely say that those who ran to EDSA in 1986 really thought that it was for love of country what they were doing. And well, initially it's probably what it was, that we love this country and we will do something to remove a tyrant. But it was what happened to those people who loved the country in 1986 that really just drove them into being jaded. Yung parang naging cynic na sila na gusto na tinanggal namin si Marcos dahil ayaw namin sa kanya tapos papalitan mo nitong idiot na babaeng to. Parang ganyan. Kasi yan yung damdamin ni Gingona. 'Di ba nung sumulat siya? Sinulatan niya si Cory Aquino na hindi naman pinaglaban natin ating bansa because we believe that we can do something good to our country, and then suddenly you put this woman here. Oh, what the hell? Diba? Yun ang tanong ko doon. Ayun ang tanong.
Pero
Yun
ako, I can personally say this, no. When I sing the national anthem, I really, hindi siya yung labas bibig lang or ano mo yun. And I think every Filipino, nakatanim to, hindi lang sa utak, hanggang tagos to eh. And whenever we see someone talk about this love of country, we do not immediately think that this person is
telling the truth.
No. We do not immediately
Or
think
lying.
that he is lying. We'd like to hear another person express this. In fact, tingin ko nga, what made Digong win was his ad. Na memorize ko pa hanggang ngayon. I am a Filipino. This is the land of my birth and the home of my people. I love the Philippines. For me, hindi ako makadigong nung mga panahon na yon. I really thought that the advertisement very odd and very out of tune. But now it makes sense to me. Looking at it politically, alam mo yun, as a communication strategy, tumagos yun kasi walang ibang kandidatong gumawa nun.
Nagsabi ng ganon,
And in a very serious way. And that is how I got to assess him afterwards, di ba? When I say, to si Digong, hindi naman posibleng ibenta niya yung kaluluwa ng Pilipinas dyan sa mga inchik.
Sa China. That's right.
And I'm sure, before the end of his term, naalala mo, Ahmed, yung conversation natin?
Yeah.
He will retract all of these things that he just said because he did not write anything. No executive order, no law. He has not bound the country to anything that everyone was afraid he will do.
Yep.
Diba? But what he just wanted was to avoid a war during his presidency. And for me, whether that is love of country or cowardice, the effect is at least...
People like him.
The effect has kept us alive for 6 years.
Well, that's what.
Diba?
That's what.
So, the pudding is in the eating. Buhay pa naman tayo, mga friends, diba? Buhay pa kayo?
Buhay pa kayo.
Hindi pa naman tayo nagkagera, diba? So, ibig sabihin, nag-work. Kahit na maraming
Nagkagera tayo
hiling-hila.
doon sa sa Marawi, but
Hindi, not with
it has
China at
nothing to
least.
do with it. Oo.
Di ba? Hindi tayo nagkamatay at hindi nagkandasira yung ating mga buhay kagaya
Mm.
nung nangyayari sa Ukraine because hindi niya inantagonize yung mga Chinese. Pero hindi rin
Mm.
naman
Mm.
nadagdagan yung nawala sa atin.
No.
Which, kung titingnan mo ngayon, may have been proof of the effectivity of his strategy. I do not
Well,
know.
di ba? And
Oh.
China now parang parang kumalma siya ang China sa atin. But
But
marami na daw nakakapangisda uli doon.
no
Uh,
Dilawan will probably believe you in that
oh,
kind of analysis.
they will never concede anything for the Chinese
Oo.
or for Digong for that matter.
Yeah. And for sure, Filipinos want to love this country. No?
Hmm.
Parang wala naman tayong dahilan para ang,
Hindi,
di ba, na
di
hindi.
ba?
And we really want to find the reason to love. Mas maganda to, no? Want to find reasons to love this country.
Yeah, but what can you say about Ninoy Aquino and the likelihood that he started the rebellion of the communists now, and
Uh,
even the Islamic secessionist organization of movements also began with his conspiracy. So parang
okay.
so talking about that the Filipino is to die for is worth
Hmm.
dying for.
Is this?
And in this establishment of the communist
Oh,
revolution with Joma Season, how do we reconcile that?
because the justification for their action is this. That's why they're able to sell that crazy idea because
Mm.
ginagamit nilang dahilan is love for country. And now, we just said it here, Filipinos want to find the reason for loving this country. And when given a propaganda based on love of country with the objective of convincing you to destroy the country and an
You
educational
believe
system that
them.
allows you to fool the people into believing that kind of argument,
Mm.
then this will pass. Tama?
So, panalo siya. Parang tingin ko kasi sa a love of country and the love of the Filipino people
Oh,
should be one and the same thing. But in the case of Ninoy Aquino, I have a feeling that he just loved the country and he didn't care about the rest of the people aside from himself or his family. Kasi parang tipo, does he really care about what's going to happen to the Filipinos when this insurgency is raging, um, knowing that his brat in the Upsilon Sigma Phi fraternity
mm,
is probably going to kill all of them if he had a chance.
mm.
Di ba? So what is this kind of guy? He says that the Filipino is worth dying for. So what Filipino? You? You are alone? You alone? The Filipino, Ninoy Aquino, is worth dying for.
No, no,
Baka
no,
yun
no,
yung
no.
ibig niya sabihin nun.
No, 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 no. Ang sinasabi niya doon, don't interpret it as if you are a Dilawan, no? Interpret it as him telling other people to allow yourself to be killed for your love of country, to
Oh, so
to
yeah.
pursue his political agenda.
Oh, so when he said the Filipino
Okay.
is worth dying for,
Not his death,
that
but your
Filipino is
death.
me.
No,
That
no, no.
Filipino is me, and you die for
No,
me.
no,
Parang
he is
ganyan.
the Filipino. You die for me.
Exactly.
Ah,
Ay, everybody else just really please die for me. Oh, di ang
yes.
nangyari,
Yes.
siya yung nataypats.
Ayun yung hindi niya intend. Kasi why would you even
Ayan yung
go
hindi
to
niya
the extent
na-intend.
of writing a book if you only wanted to die? Just hang yourself
Di
in your
ba?
closet.
What the hell are you talking about when you say, I want to do good to this country and to the people, and then
I want to die for
gusto,
it.
gusto mo lang naman palang mamatay, worth dying for. That's why you walk back here in this country and knowing that you're gonna die,
Ah,
you do that. What the hell?
At
Diba?
saka, di ba,
Kapaniwala ba yung politiko na gano'n?
it's not even original. Alam mo
Yeah.
ba saan nanggaling yan?
Hindi.
Ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Well, kaya
It comes
si
from the
Julian
national
Felipe.
anthem. No, it comes from the national anthem. So if you create a communications plan based on themes that are already well implanted into the brains of the Filipinos, di ba? It always succeeds. So you work on these themes about love of country, and Filipinos really want to accept that because we are trained to accept it. And then we sing and celebrate that love. Kaya tingnan mo,
Well,
you
it
go
was
to
something.
your
Yeah,
country
go.
sa ano, nakapunta ka na
Mm.
diyan sa mga gathering ng mga dati mong kasamaan sa taas, di ba?
Sino
O
ako?
anong mga kinakanta nila? Yung mga ang dami nilang kanta diyan, no?
International. Kanta
Hmm.
ng Russia yan eh.
Hmm.
Hindi,
Oh,
but it's
yung
not Russia.
kinonvert
It's
nila to.
the communist. The
Yes.
Internationale. It's a French song.
We are easily swayed by songs and celebrations of this love of country. And ang ating mga political activities ay umikot-ikot dyan. No?
Yeah, that's right.
Kahit na yung campaigns, yung mga ano, lagi nandiyan dyan.
Yung
Tsaka yun,
budots,
no?
ano ba? Saan mahuhulog yung budots?
Ano yun? Millennial yun.
That is an entirely new thing.
Yes, because Duterte changed the ball game. They were too formal before. He made it informal. Di ba?
Mhm.
They were too
Exclusive before with each other. Tapos siya nakipag-friend siya kay Miriam, sa ibang politiko.
they were too trying to impress the public. He did not.
Sinabi niya, killer ako.
Di ba? So yun. But he expressed this. But he expressed this love of country. At touch naman si Tatiana kagad at saka si Nancy. Dala kagad Nancy, di ba no? Diyan ka nadala no? Umamin. Kaya ka naging Duterte at saka naging
Sabi ni
DDS.
Nancy, umuwi daw dito si Ninoy because he thought that he had a chance to be the president because FEM was so ill. Why would he think that if Ferdinand Marcos was so ill, his vice president becomes president? Why would Ninoy Aquino think that he will succeed Marcos? What kind of craziness is that? If that is how he thought, he's insane. He was not vice president.
Maybe not by that kind of succession, but by other means, no? Well, if you are saying that he has control over the insurgent activities,
Probably.
then he would have an alternative plan if kumbaga sabi ni Joey Sasa, di ba, kay Al Pacino, you do not give, I take. Di ba?
Sinagot naman siya ng I do not get high on my own supply.
Anyway, so nagtatuwa ka ba kay Tatiana, si Tatiana? Di ba? Diyan ka nadala, Tatiana, no? Dalang-dala kay Gong. Pag sinabi na, I love my country. This is the land of my birth and the home of my people. Ay, sus, boto kagad. Bibian. Ano
Hindi ako bumoto. Ngayon din, hindi rin ako bumoto.
London.
Ako boycott.
Sa London, si Bibian. Nag-ano pa yan? Anong tawag doon? Early voting. Okay. So third criteria. In terms of ito si Tatiana kasali talaga dito, sigurado ako. In terms of participation in public advocacies. Wag mo sabihin hindi kayo kasali diyan.
Volunteer naman tayo.
Mga volunteer. Si Tatiana volunteer to.
Nagtutunit. Hindi ako bumoto dahil deactivate ako, Maria Ligaya. Diba? I didn't vote.
We volunteer. Ay, hindi pala volunteer to. Volunteer pala to. Oh, may volunteer. Oh, di ba? May mga activities si Mayora. Mamimigay ng pagkain dun sa ano. Ah, libre yung trabaho mo. May budget yun ha. Para sa manpower. Kala mo lang. Oh, we donate. Merong sakuna sa ganito ganyan. Ay, sus, ang luwag-luwag ng mga bulsa ng ating mga OFW pag nanawagan ng ABS-CBN at GMA sa Kapuso Foundation. Bigay agad para sa mga nasalanta ng bagyo.
Totoo yan, totoo
Tama?
yan. Oh, totoo yan.
Hmm.
Ako rin, ganun din ginawa ko nung naundoy. Tinulungan kita. Tinulungan ko yung
Yes.
mga ibang biktima
Oh.
ng undoy.
Meron tayong bayanihan spirit. Di ba?
That's right,
Oh.
that's right.
Sabay-sabay tayo pag may nanalo yung Pinoy. Walang iwanan. Di ba? Mapabasketball man yan, boxing, o di kaya kandidato, basta panalo, celebrate. No?
Mm.
Ganyan tayo
Mm.
Pilipino. Matagal na po
Mm.
akong follower nyo. May idudulong po sana ako sa inyo tungkol po sa nangyari sa mga rank and file ng SSS na halos lahat po kami ay matatanggal at naglilingkod sa SSS ay demoralized dahil sa agarang pagpapatupad ng CPCS. Ano yung
Ano
CPCS?
yung CPCS?
Corporate something, restructuring plan
I don't know what
ng
it
mga
is.
executives lang ang nakinabang.
Kinabang at ang laki ng mga increase nila.
Oo.
Sweldo-sweldo pala to.
At kaming mga rank and file
Oho.
ay walang increase, binawasan.
Okay. Hindi
Hindi
ho
mo
si
tinatanggap.
Attorney Trixie ang solusyon dyan. Mas maigi po dahil these things that you mentioned are legal.
Oh.
Kasuhan nyo itong mga to. Kasuhan nyo itong SSS. Dahil
Yeah.
kung halimbawa binawasan kayo ng rank, ng benefits, there is a law there's a rule in our labor code, even in our government employment, na hindi mo pwedeng i-diminish yung nakasanayan ng benefits ng mga tao.
Ipa-define muna natin sa kanya kung ano yung CPCS.
Pag nabigyan ka na ng benefit, hindi na yan siya pwedeng tanggalin sa'yo next year.
Pero ano yung ibig sabihin ng CPCS, pare ko?
Ano yung
Pakilagay lang
CPCS?
sa... Kasi, tingnan mo, marami tayong mga kaibigan dyan. We always employ bayanihan in times of crisis. Di ba?
Yeah.
And ito yung applicable dyan sa sinasabi mo, pare ko, to applicable tong next na number na description ng mga Pilipino.
We deplore dirty politics, corruption
and social decay. Di ba, social security system yan? And you're saying it's decay. We deplore that.
Decay. Yeah, we hate that. We hate that.
We hate that. We don't like that.
Especially
in the SSS. So whenever an issue like this comes out, all Filipinos are united. We band together. Yes. And then,
especially to remove a president.
And then whenever we hear this, very tough call, rally together when the call to oust the president is made on TV. Tama?
For cardinal sin.
Ganyan tayo mga Pilipino. Does this describe us? As an expression of our love of country.
Nagrarally tayong lahat.
Whenever these things happen, everyone feels that this is love of country in action. Or this is ano ba ito ang sinasabi ng title dito? This is a public participation and advocacy. Unity in our advocacy for the country. Yan. Katulad dito ni Ferge. Ano bang gusto mo mangyari, Ferge?
Oo nga. What do you want to do, Ferge?
Gusto mo mag-rally tayo?
Kung gusto mong ipaalam lang namin yan sa lahat ng tao.
Kasi we can announce this as an issue. Diba? Probably, if you can provide details about CPCS in our program in Tambayan.
Yes, we can do that.
Diba?
Yung si Attorney Trixie, okay, let me just explain this. Yung office na Attorney Trixie is the Office of the Press Secretary. Siya yung office niya ang magdadala ng impormasyon galing sa gobyerno papunta sa taong bayan.
Baliktad
hindi trabaho ng opisina niya yung kumuha ng impormasyon sa taong bayan at ibigay sa presidente. Meron
para
pong
magkaroon
opisina
ng...
na para dyan. Okay, marami. Nandyan yung piskalya, nandyan yung PAO, nandyan yung ombudsman,
Hmm.
nandyan yung call 911, ano yun, 8888, di ba? Nandyan yan sila lahat. At nandyan yung korte. Pwedeng
Oo.
kasuhan yung SSS din sa pinagkagawa nila because if you really love your country,
Oo.
you will follow its laws. And if you're being oppressed by people against that law, you will win. You will win.
Oo.
Itong gusto kasi nating shortcut na pumunta doon sa presidente and then without exhausting all the remedies that we are available to us in law, paano kung ang presidente walang magagawa dyan dahil ang batas ay ganyan talaga, yan ang ginawa ng Kongreso.
Okay.
Magagalit lang
Tanong
kayo
eh.
sa presidente. Tatawagin
Ah,
niya na naman magnanakaw yan at papaalisin niya na naman sa pwesto. Di ba? Ang tamang paraan para masolusyonan yan ay sundin yung ano yung nakasaad sa batas. Kung ang batas na yan ay illegal, then file na natin ng ng unconstitutionality case, di ba? I-file na natin ang kaso na magsasabing unconstitutional itong kaso na itong batas na to dahil tinaas lang ang mga benefits ng mga head. Di ba?
alamin natin kung ano to si PCS
Kailangan na natin malaman
Okay.
because just telling the president about this is easy. I-post lang natin yan doon sa kanyang blog, sa Facebook, malalaman niya na yan. But does that mean na may magagawa siya dyan? We don't know. Sundin natin kung anong remedies natin na available sa batas. Kung
Okay.
illegal
Ay,
itong ginagawa nila,
Hindi.
sabi nyo
Ito
ay
pa lang.
yan ang kaso.
Ito pa lang
Diba?
CPCS ay Compensation and Position Classification System or parang salary standardization na
Standardization
system
na ako.
for the GOCCs.
Ay, di, wala
Okay.
nga kinalaman ng presidente dyan.
Okay, kasi these are GOCCs. So there is a
And that is a law.
CPCS.
CPCS is a law.
Yeah,
Is
for
it?
the corporate what is GCG?
Yan yung overseeing committee ngayon of all the GOCCs.
Okay, the executive order is 150/2001. 2021. So si Digong ang may gawa nito. Executive
Kung pa
order.
sumunod yan.
Approving the compensation and position classification system and index of occupational services, position titles and job grades for GOCCs. Framework replacing Executive Order number 203/2016 for other purposes. So what does this say? Okay, na magkaroon ng authority to negotiate bargain on the economic terms and conditions. Okay. Oh, may CPA pala kayo CNA. So, Ferg, may CNA kayo. Why didn't you
Part,
express
wala
your...
ka na part, brother.
Hello.
Brother, come back.
Naputol ba ako?
Come here.
Hello. Okay na?
Yan, sige, tuloy.
So, si
tuloy.
Ferg, meron pala silang ina-allow dito na magkaroon ng CBA or CNA. So, your concerns, kung rank and file kayo, should have been settled in that level of the negotiations for the CNA. So, siguraduhin yun na hindi kayo binibenta ni Jimmy Hoffa. Naalala mo si Jimmy Hoffa? No? Na yung kanyang mga miyembro.
Nakalibing na si Jimmy Hoffa hindi na yun. Nakalibing
Okay,
na yun sa baseball
Okay, ganito lang yung Ferg. Kung meron kang specific na injury or maybe you can address it to the right government body or dyan mismo sa inyong anong tawag nila dyan? Yung
kasi merong grievance. May grievance
association,
sila dyan.
Ano yung association? Union, okay.
Parang
may
union yan sila
Kasi hindi yan pwedeng pakialaman ng tagalabas, otherwise you will be violating this union system. Kasi meron siyang collective bargaining. Hindi yan pwedeng basta-basta.
Meron pala silang collective, may collective bargaining sila?
It is this executive order is about CNAs and
Is a collective
CBAs.
bargaining. Okay.
No, allowing the formation of CNAs and CBAs. I don't
exactly.
even have to read it in total, but I see it as that immediately. So, ganito yan. Para ma-process natin na maayos in relation to our topic, di ba? Ang mga Pilipino, Uh, that's why we are
Mahilig sa
able,
ganyan.
mahilig tayo sa ganun na, alam mo yon, dahil hindi tayo in-empower by our own
We were kept ignorant.
education. We are kept ignorant about our rights and our remedies and our actual, alam mo yun, yung nasan yung ating kasangga
Mm.
sa buhay na to. In fact, it is very, very annoying na, alam mo yun, ang daming rights protected under the law. Hindi mo naman alam kung saan ka pupunta. Katulad dito si Ferge.
No, hindi niya
No?
alam kung saan siya pupunta.
And in your desperation, we are always left with no choice but to go to a politician.
Mm.
And if we are not able to go to that politician,
Nagagalit na tayo sa buong
galit na
gobyerno.
tayo sa kanya. And then, the media who are already serving their corporate interests are easily exploiting that situation by, alam mo yun, combining some social issues and can easily ask people to go rally and remove someone they do not like.
Lalo na kung sumama na yung simbahan dyan sa call na yan, ay
Oh,
gustong-gusto natin yon. Gustong-gusto
Yeah.
natin. Kasama tayo doon lahat.
so this is actually a strength and a weakness at the same time. No?
Okay, okay, I have an opinion about the situation. Kasi kung gano'n ang sitwasyon natin, if we are really mature in our understanding of democracy and our rights under a democratic constitutional government,
Oh,
maintindihan natin na every right has an equal obligation, equally important obligation, and in every obligation and every right, meron tayong remedy for that given by the law. Given
wait
by
lang,
the law itself.
this is a gray area actually. This rally thing, it is both good and bad. It is an expression
Yes, of
of
course.
maturity and immaturity at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
Maturity in the sense
I
na
agree with
pwede,
that.
di ba? Kung talagang despotic, kung talagang walang
Maturity yan.
walang pinatutunguhan yung pamumuno, kaya nyo siyang tanggalin at hindi kayo mga taw-tauhan. But at the same time,
At the same time, kung ganun lang din kayo kadaling
Kadaling-
kantiin, tapos sasama na kayo, kaagad tayo,
that is immaturity. So
Isa
this is
pa.
a gray area.
yeah.
So, ang
So,
ating
yung
propensity to
sinasabi
run.
ko kanina is that another symptom of immaturity is that we do not know the law. We do not know the law that seem to protect us. We do not follow the rules there that give us remedy for a violation of our rights. We just want to cry in public and hope that the politicians can hear us and probably hope that they will help us. But there is a more concrete solution for the problem. We just really don't want to do it or we don't know about it. Why? It's in the law. So why don't we do that? Well,
Because no one
Ayun
enforces it for us. Kagaya nito si Ferge. I can understand where Ferge is coming from.
of course, of course.
Ferge, alam mo, I can really understand where you're coming from. Attorney Ahmed knows this.
Oo, kasi yung
You
kapatid
will-
mo na biktima niyan.
Hindi
Ako,
na.
biktima din ako niyan.
You go to the labor court. You have a very good case. And then you will
Thank you,
lose because
Nila.
of their corruption. Okay? You go to a government office where you are supposed to get assistance and then nothing. Punta ka sa PAW, walang magagawa para sa'yo. Nobody seems to want to lift a finger in this country. And that is your frustration, I know. And that is what we want to expose here, na we really have a problem.
About that
A
kind
lot.
of attitude.
A lot of problem why most of us, even me, feel so helpless whenever there is
Yeah,
a situation. There is a situation na alam mo na nasa iyo ang side ng batas, pero wala eh. Kung sino yung mayaman, kung sino yung nandoon sa taas, sila lang talaga.
Sila lang yung masaya. So that is why
That's why we need to expose this. But there is a problem with this system.
Nung ginagawa namin dito really is not to make lives easier because we are two poor people in this world.
Hmm.
JP is poor. I am also poor.
Hmm.
Really, if you just knew who we are and what the things that we do, you will strictly say, "Oh, these two poor people," because
Oh.
we really are. We are dirt poor. Coming along with JP,
Oh.
and that is why we cannot help people when they go, wala kaming pera,
Come and
wala na
ask.
akong
Oh.
sweldo. Hindi namin kayo matutulong. Ang maitutulong namin ay imulat itong mga tao na tayong lahat na pag may problema na ganito may mapupuntahan tayo sa gobyerno. Pag hindi nila ginawa, we can force them. And if they still don't do anything, we can remove them from office. And in the next election, we will not vote for them anymore.
Oh.
We want the people to wake up and see all these possibilities that we can do so that we will not go on in a cyclical manner, get these stupid people here in our government like this guy.
Hmm.
Crimson
Alam nyo,
Marot.
tama to si Ahmed. Hindi kami nagbibiro when we're saying we are dirt poor.
Poor.
Okay. Ah, ang pinakamagandang description niyan. Alam niyo ba anong buhay ni Juan Luna, ni sino yung mga kasamahan nila dun sa Espanya? Sila Juan Luna,
Sina Rizal,
sila
nandun.
Marcelo del Pilar, itong mga propaganda movement people. In Spain, they were so poor that they just have to pick up yung mga upos ng sigarilyo, upos ng cigar, kasi wala silang pambiling pagkain. Ito, yung mga bayani natin to sa Espanya. Wala silang pambiling pagkain, mamumulot sila ng upos ng cigar para matanggal yung gutom.
Gutom nila. Para si Karl Marx.
And that's why they're able to write all of these things complaining about so many injustices in society, because they're very, very bright people, and they see so much unfairness all around. Okay. We are not asking to be rich, but we want our kids. Diba? All we want is our kids. Kasi kami, alam naman namin, there's nothing we can do about our
Left for
generation.
us. There is nothing left. There's no hope for JP and myself. We are too old to change. Wala na tayong pag-asa. Hindi na natin makikita yung bunga ng kabutihan na gusto ng presidente natin ngayon o kung gusto natin.
Wala.
All we want is everything that we want is for our children. Hopeless
Or not
na talaga
necessarily ours, not necessarily ours, but the next futures. The future, because we know what's wrong. We can already identify the root causes. As in, it's right in front of us, floating right in front of us. But it's so premature to be revealing all of these things, these 100-year-old things that are being used against against us. And ang fear na talaga dito is the political families who have been there when these things were made. They know this. They know this.
How can I say that I am poor, nilalayog? My apartment in Marikina, where I used to live before the pandemic, ay naundoy ako noon. Inabot yung outlet, nasunog yung aking metro. Hindi ko pa napapakonect hanggang ngayon yung kuryente ko. Tapos, during the pandemic, before the pandemic began, bumagyo uli doon. Bumaha na naman, 2 years ago. Kaya hindi na ako nakauwi doon. Dito na lang ako sa bahay na ito yung Trixie nakatira. Karpentero na lang ako dito sa likod. And that is the truth. I am dirt poor right now.
Nila. Iba kasi yung mga kami, ascetic. Alam mo yung asceticism? Mga ganun kami. We are like
we are used to hardship.
We
want hardship.
Siddhartha Gautama.
Ayan, pwede. Or si Saint Ambrose, yung nag-translate ng Biblia.
Yung si
caveman.
Ignatius Loyola.
Ayan.
Okay. So, we can eat.
Kami kasi.
We do not die.
Kakain kami. Ako, may
We do not
nakakain ako.
we do not eat shit. But okay, ganito lang yan. Uh, you know this na no. Alam mo yun, working, doing your best, knowing that you're not really doing anything. Especially sa level namin ni Atty. Ahmed, alam mo yun, because you're going against your because for you to succeed with the type of things that you're able to think of, you must lick some oligarch's ass for you to be able to do that. That is what pisses us off. Di ba?
Kasi mabuti
And
na yung
knowing,
wala kaming pera, na wala kaming, ano mo yun, parang ginagawang Diyos. Di bali na konti lang ang pera namin because we also work. Nasakto lang yung sweldo namin. Basta wala kaming ginagago namin, sarili namin na you are good. We are not
yes,
beholden to anyone. Maybe I am beholden to GP because he keeps helping me when I'm poor. And sometimes, because I am always poorer than he is, I help him. Too. And
wala. Alam mo yun, ano lang naman to eh. What we are doing now is really exposing some things that, well, alam nyo naman to eh. Wala namang bagong bumabangga sa mga bagay-bagay na to kung di yung merong binibentang idea.
may,
Tama?
may agenda.
May agenda. So kami, wala kami agenda.
Kasi inaaway namin lahat ng tao. Walang side.
Hindi Oo, di ba? So,
Okay.
it's how we make do with what we had. Good works. No, we're not trying to lift our ashes here.
Hindi kaya ko sinasabi na ako si Satanas para hindi masabi ng kahit sino na nagpapakabuti at nagpapakasanto ako. No. I am the most evil person and I know I'm going to hell. And whatever I do here is not to go to heaven. It's just really to do those things because they need to be done.
Okay, Mila, share nyo na. Share nyo na yung mga Tsaka you invite friends to join us here para dumami tayo because the more discussions, actually we read from you, we get some cue from you. Di ba? We are able to mirror our ideas with you. And
We could be sleeping now,
yeah,
but I don't want to.
but your experiences also na hindi namin na i-experience can actually
Enlighten us.
enlighten us. Like itong isa na ayaw makinig, itong si na puro dada daw. Yeah, it's okay.
You're
Diba?
right
Because
to say that.
not only that, we know that there are a lot of people like them who only believes na walang dapat pag-usapan kundi yung yung mga chismis at saka yung politikan at saka
Yung mga
artista
gusto lang
at saka
pag-usapan.
yung gusto lang ng pag-usapan.
Cellphone, bagong cellphone,
kotse,
Kotse.
tapos bagong gadgets.
bagong
Well,
gadget.
those are also nice things and we can also talk about those things.
No, I can't. I don't know anything about those things, man.
Ako, I know those things. Diba?
Ikaw,
So, I'm,
alam mo si JP nagre-repair ng kotse to. Walang kaalam-alam yan paano mag-repair ng kotse but he repairs his own cars.
yeah, and I can do anything actually. Any
Well,
position,
I-
Mamet? Any position.
I like
But anyway,
I like that. I can
any
do
position. Anyway.
For now.
Na. Pero alam nyo, mga, di ba, biro lang, no? Mas ang importante dito is this. We are challenging you, yung mga nandiyan dyan. Bring your friends over. Gawin natin regular yung
Hawaii
oras.
nila tayo dito. Hawaii nila kami dito.
Gawin ba natin regular yung oras, no? Kung gusto nyo ba
Yeah,
itong oras na
let's
to?
make
Tama
it
ba to?
earlier. Okay, let's ask them, what is a good time for you? After 5 After 5 or maybe after 7 na lang. It makes it more narrow.
Okay, ayos ha. Yeah. So yeah, but you can suggest. We are very very open. You want a topic to be discussed? Suggest.
9 to 10 p.m.
Tell
daw,
us.
sabi.
Ang Start?
9 tayo. Oh, well, I can do that. Basta you tell JP 9 to 10.
Alam mo kasi
Kasi baka
mahirap yung ano.
nagsusundo pa yan.
Oo, minsan may ano, masyado pang maaga yun. Kasi hindi pa tulog yung mga tao sa bahay,
So,
maingay.
so now
Oo.
it's narrower. It's
Oo.
now 10.
And okay, 10 siguro the earliest na ano I can do. 10. And yun. How
Yeah, I
about
can do 10. I
yeah,
can do 10.
10 would be ano. Kasi nung minsan naglagay ito ng 11:45, tulog na kaya ako dito bago nag-start.
Ako nga, minsan nag-live ako alas 12, mag-isa.
Oo nga,
Meron pa
napakinggan
rin
nga
naman
kita isang beses eh. But anyway, alam niyo na having topics na ano, controversial na ganito. Alam namin kung magmangangahas kami na ano, ah, maghanap ng mas malaking audience kagad. Wala, kaaway na namin yung lahat ng ano,
Lahat ng tao politiko,
lahat ng
inaaway na
taong
namin
politika.
dapat.
Ayan na. But no, 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 no. Hindi yun yung intent. Mas magsisimula na lang kami si Rizal nga, di ba? Kapag pasimula ng revolusyon sa kanyang 200 kopya ng No Limit Tangerine, niwala naman kayo, no?
Ako pa rin, napaniwala talaga ako doon.
Ayaw paniwala ka dun, ano? Nung tinatanong
Naniwala
kita,
talaga.
so
Tapos
ilang
naniwala
kopya?
din. Naniwala din ako doon sa EDSA, pare.
Ha?
Naniwala din ako doon. Putang
Ako
ina
rin
yan.
naman.
Ay, sino bang hindi? Parang
Isa, biktima nga tayo
tandaan nyo
ng buong ano
yung
na to.
nakataas yung kamay natin
Lahat
sa
tayo.
UP, ano? Nakataas tayo ng kamay ng UP.
Kanan ako,
Kakanta tayo
kanan.
ng bayan ko.
Kanan.
Kakanta tayo ng bayan ko.
Hmm.
Nakakaiyak yun eh. Umipit yung dibdib mo noon eh. Parang ang hirap huminga.
Hmm.
Ah,
Tama. Thank you, Lilo.
oh yeah.
Nila. Thank you, thank
Oh, yeah.
you.
Okay. Thank you.
Alam mo ba yung nilad? Nilad. Nilad is a plant, tama?
It's a reed. It's a kind of reed.
That
Grass.
is supposed to grow there in Pasig River, no?
Yes,
Nilad.
yes. Reed kasi yan eh. It grows in a water environment.
Oh, yeah. Is it ano, still alive or do you still see that? Wala na. Extinct na
Meron
din
pa,
nilad.
meron pa. It's still, it's not extinct. Sabi ni Maria Ligaya, nakita mo ako sa stage, alin doon sa macho dancer. Hindi ho ako dumaan na pagiging macho dancer. Pero
Sa
I
stage.
had a band when I was in.
Oh, wow, lakas si Maki. Canadian
Salamat, Maki.
or Maga yun,
We are not
okay.
worthy.
How is di ba? How is it possible that in Canada you have Justin Trudeau, di ba? Coming from is he coming from a wealthy political family to be able to
Yes.
become your prime minister at that age? Di ba?
Yes,
All we
kasi
want
si
is
Pierre Trudeau yung tatay niyan eh.
okay.
Prime
But
Minister.
how many kids of their kind, di ba, are there? Many.
Yeah. Bakit siya?
Of his peers, di ba? And alam mo yun, marami din siyang pwedeng, but I don't know kung you can say na yung ating sistema dito na talagang sila na lang at sila still persists. And iba yung kultura dyan
Okay,
sa
teka
Canada.
muna, heads up. Heads up ha, magdadalawang
Gusto
oras
sina?
na tayo.
Yeah, that's our limit.
Magdadalawang
I
oras
see
na
it.
tayo.
I see it.
Yeah,
I see it.
continue.
I see it. Kasi minsan yung ating programa sa tambayan, di ba? Masyado tayong nagmamadali. Hindi natin natatapos yung ating mga topics. Pero nanonood ba kami ng tambayan? Sino nanonood ng tambayan dito? Wala. Nasa opisina kayo, no?
Ibang grupo to, ibang grupo.
Ibang grupo to. Okay. Sige. So, we will continue this tomorrow, this topic. We will try to base now, okay, ito kasi, binasi ko lang to on 3 criteria. No? 3 criteria that are commonly known to Filipinos when we say political maturity. We will base our judgment on, are we participative in elections? Do we love this country? And do we participate in these public actions, public activities? Parang ganun. You will notice
Ano
that
itong sinasabi ni ano?
na ano?
Tingnan mo na, Ito sinasabi ni Andy Friend.
Oh.
How about discussing
Ka,
kafra trapping? What's that?
ano
What
yun?
is that?
Para additional information sa mga Pinoy. Kafra trapping. Ano yun?
Kafka. Oh.
Ano yun?
Si
Is it a
Franz
term?
Kafka, yung ano, yung philosopher, yung writer.
Okay, 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 okay.
Franz Kafka.
Aha. Modern ano ha?
Okay. Continue,
Sige, we'll
continue.
go there. Okay. But ito yung basis natin. Yun nga yung, okay, ikaw, inunahan mo naman ako eh. Tomorrow, we will look at political theories talaga. Modern political criteria. And then we'll assess where we are. Kasi
Correct.
ito yung ano natin. Ito yung ating mga sarili nating criteria pag Pinoy. Normally ha, when we say political maturity, we refer to love of country, we refer to our community and our social interactions, and most especially election. And this is how we are. This is how we rate there, probably. So is this enough? I don't think so. I don't think so. You know why? I don't see any role for our politicians here. No? When we say
No,
political maturity, we always refer to ourselves. Why?
because we are the only the people
Di
that
ba?
we know who have to practice our political rights, which is voting, which is talking in public
Kaya
about
nga,
our
but
opinion.
the politicians are not in the equation.
Oh,
Mostly in
they
our
are not
analysis.
interested. Yeah, they are not
Even
interested in.
us, we do not consider them. Tama?
Oo nga,
Kasi,
oo, tama, tama,
oh,
tama.
di ba? Napansin mo yun?
Because pero ang I don't know why I do that. That I exclude the politicians. And
Oh,
the quickest excuse that I can think of is what I say. Ang tinatanong ako, bakit ayun yung idulog sa politiko? Kasi ang unang-una kong excuse, which is not necessarily true and maybe so unfair, is that they are all stupid.
because we know them.
It's
And
unfair.
we know the person behind the persona. Pero ikaw ang naka-in-charge yan kay Kapra, ha?
Kafka.
Kapra, bukas, ha?
Kafka, yeah, I read most of his books.
Sige.
Because he is a
Ay,
psychologist and a
and
philosopher.
then I'll get another social scientist also na alam mo yun yung naka-structure lang na na basis for assessing whether a country or citizenry is mature or not. Mature ka na ba?
Sabi niya, di para kasi Ate L, 8 a.m. daw yan doon sa kanila. Thank you. We will make sure that at 10 p.m. we are already here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm fine with your current schedule. Yeah. Thank you. And of course, there's always a replay if you like this. Because I'm sure as we reveal and as you are able to bring in your friends, kayo lang talaga pag-asa namin, you bring in your friends kasi wala kaming intent na mag-boost dyan.
What
Ano,
is
Ahmed?
that? How do you
mag-boost?
do that anyway?
Yung mag-boost? Yung advertising?
How do we have to pay to do that?
Yeah. Yung boost post? Oo, meron yan.
Oh, yun yung may
ginagawa.
sinasabi, boost your to get more
Magbayad yun. Per area, per time,
yun na.
per duration.
Yun
Yun,
na.
bayad yun. Wala kaming balak magaganyan. Because we're not selling anything. No? Work from home po. Yun. So,
Bukas wala ako dito sa Manila. I will be
and
going somewhere.
He will be
Doing
coming
something,
from
doing something for the
shenanigan.
Filipino. We are going to thank someone for all of us.
Kumbinsin mo nga na ma-interview ko.
Si Digong, interviewin mo.
Sabihin mo.
I will try
Sabihin
that.
mo. Hindi, sabihin mo. Sabihin mo,
Yeah,
sir. Meron
Interviewin ka
pangarap
raw ni
si
Isang
JP.
Dakal.
Na magkaroon siya ng interview sa'yo. Kahit
Sige.
na,
Yeah, because we will be talking to him.
kasi bala kong gumawa ng
We will be
programa.
talking to him.
One-on-one dangkal. One.
I think we will be talking to him on Sunday.
Yeah, please tell him ha. No.
I will.
Yun na naman, sabihin mo, isang beses lang. One-on-one. Mm.
Kasi si Trixie, pinagbigyan niya.
Oh,
Hindi pa namin nilalabas, pero it was a good
ah,
talk.
sabihin mo ako
Nandun
din
din.
isa-isa.
Sumama din ako doon, pero nasa labas lang ako dahil naka-rubber shoes ako eh. Papahiramin sana
Mm.
ako ni Tikong ng, ng balat na sapatos kasi naka-rubber shoes ako. Ayaw kong papasukin sa taas, sa kanyang sino taas. Eh, umalis na ako, doon na lang ako sa kotse naghintay.
Mm.
Sabi ni Digong, bakit niyo pinaalis? May sapatos ako dito. Oh, well, ganun talaga.
Wala. Iba yung style niya. I think we hit him here in one way or another without really
Yeah.
intending, no? Ako talaga never akong naging ano diyan, campaigner or what. But I got to respect him along the way dahil nagkatugma yung aming pag-iisip eh. I, get- I get to be able to predict the next move of the president po.
Yeah, and he kept bugging me about it. Kasi I thought I knew this president because he is a relative of my mother. I think they are second cousins or something. So I thought, kilala ko yan siya. Alam ko nung susunod na gagawin yan. And yet JP is hits every single time.
Yeah, yun.
Yeah.
So, yan. So, gabi na, alas dos hindi, 2 oras na. So, turn namin.
Hmm.
Wala na siya, no? Musikerong Pinoy ngayon. Hindi ko nakita.
Meron ako.
Musikerong Pinoy.
Merong
Kanina.
extra song para sa kanya.
Galing sa kanya yon.
Nasa kanya.
So, sa mga nagbigay ng mga padala, so thank you and good evening and love you all. So, magdala kayo ng friends tomorrow. Ano tayo bukas? Sure ka ba na makaka-online ka bukas? Galing Davao.
Kung naalis kami alas 7 ng umaga.
Kaya nga, but may signal doon.
I think sa hotel meron.
Ina-underestimate yung Davao, ano? Backward kasi yung lugar na yun, eh. Love you!
Backward
Bye.
talaga. Alright, maraming po salamat sa
Music
pakikinig
time,
sa
music.
Live. Ito po ang isa pang kanta ng ating kaibigan na si Musikerong Panday. At maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Good night at makita-kita tayo bukas ng alas 10. JP, alas 10.
Aziz.
Alright, ito na si brother Musikerong Panday.
Alon ng kapalaran, tumigil na sa iyong pang-aabuso sa akin. Ako'y nasindak ng alurin sa baybayin ng kahirapan at kalungkutan. Ang tindi ng sinabi ng aking kapalaran, wala na akong pag-asa, yurak na aking dangal, wala nang lugar pa akong masisilungan. O alon ng kapalaran, sana'y tumigil na. Ang tindi ng sinabi ng aking kapalaran, wala na akong pag-asa, yurak na aking dangal, sana'y tumigil na.